ever-changing landscape of the global economy, the role of human resource management continues to play a pivotal role in helping to enhance firm performance. So in this brief video, I share the role of strategic human resource management in driving strategic performance at the individual, process, and organization levels. We hope to define the evolving role of HR in organizations, explain some basic concepts and importance of strategic human resource management, also to discuss the linkages between HR practices and performance outcomes, and then finally integrate Dave Ulrich's HR model and its implications. So what is the role of HR today? Of course, we have transitioned from administrative to a strategic leadership in organizations. We are now focusing on people, culture, and performance and the alignment of all of those factors. HR is an integrator of people and business strategy, meaning that we understand people, understand behaviors, we understand values, norms, and able to align people and business strategies. Critically, HR's greatest contribution is creating our organizations where people give their best every day. So in order for people to give their best every day, one has to be motivated, and we define motivation as the amount of voluntary energy one is willing to exert for the purpose of improving performance, but to achieve the organization goals and objectives. Having followed Dr. Ulrich over the decades, I'm happy to share his 2025 model where we talk about HR being a talent architect, meaning that we're building future-ready capabilities. And of course, we know that after all modes of competition have been eroded, what's left? It's the people within the organization. And that's where we talk about organizational capability. Second, we're focusing a lot. If you look at SHRM as an example, and SHRM CEO, Johnny Taylor, talking a lot about culture and performance and how we curate that in organization. So the culture that we want. So if you are Apple as an example, it's about innovation, it's about creativity, and we have to create that culture to align with the purpose and embedding the values and purpose and the values so that they're aligned with the mission of the organization. We're dealing in a world of artificial intelligence and other factors, including technology, where we are using to capture data, use data to make more informed decisions, and furthermore become more efficient every day. So HR serving as a technology integrator is a critical role of HR today. Then human capability builder. It's where all of us in our respective organizations should be developing leadership skills and this leadership capabilities to understand and influence behaviors in organizations for the purpose of achieving organizational goals and objectives. And then being a strategic navigator, meaning we're aligning people with strategy and business strategy. So HR strategies, people strategies, organization strategies to ensure the outcomes are achieved. When we try to define strategic human resource management, we are not looking only at what HR is doing, but what HR is making happen. So what does the organization need to accomplish? Furthermore, what workforce capabilities will make that possible? And how should HR build those capabilities? So HR is not a reactive, but a strategic partner from upfront, understanding what the organization needs to accomplish, given the internal and external environment, what workforce capabilities would make that possible, and then how should we build those capabilities. we have to be asking what the organization need to be building as far as core functions and what we need to be accomplishing around these strategies and initiatives. The last bullet here is HR analytics and organization development. OD, we're talking about plan changes, structure changes, but be able to pivot at any point in time, given external or even internal changes to ensure the alignment. So talent acquisition, workforce planning, learning development. If we talk about training development, it's the developing and unleashing human expertise for the purpose of improving performance, performance management, etc. To reiterate, what exactly is strategic human resource management? It's where we're aligning HR policies, practices, thoughts to long-term organizational goals. It's about integrating HR into the strategic decision making. Third, we're building sustainable human capital capabilities and that strategic fit of business culture, business strategy to ensure alignment at every point in time. And then it's about linking HR to performance. And performance could, based on your organization and what are your deliverables, we will develop measures that would identify our performance, what we were focusing on. So that would be unique. Of course, it could be financial, it could be people, it could be system, however we choose to define the performance measure. As far as examples of HR performance linkages, we can talk about strategic hiring and how that impacts productivity and retention. Be able to measure that over time, be able to close the loop, meaning that we identify strategies, we make changes, come back and measure again. Training development, when we invest in the people learning, how does that help with innovation and adaptability? I talked about pivoting, that we have to be able to adapt. And then, of course, we know the impact of engagement. Employee engagement can impact motivation. It can impact retention. And furthermore, if we are more engaged, the linkages through our research show that customer can be more satisfied. And with customer satisfaction come retaining of customers, so increased revenue. Data-driven HR decisions will help with profitability and forecasting accuracy. If we don't have data, it's perception. So the importance and the necessity to have data. If we don't have data today, at least we start collecting data today so we can have longitudinal data in the future. So Google does this all the time, Apple does this all the time, and the data exists to show how HR performance, HR strategies impact organizational performance. As we look ahead, we can safely say that AI is here and it's impacting human resource management strategies. So AI and HR analytics for predictive insights, that's one that we're dealing with today, and it should be used in organizations extensively as a way to ensure our effectiveness. The focus on employee experience as a competitive differentiator. Employees have choices, so we have to ensure that employees have the best of experience. Third, HR's role in sustainability, ESG, and well-being, all important as far as optimizing the human capability and how we produce in organizations. And then HR, the necessity to have the emphasis on agility, not losing focus of our purpose as an organization, and investment in continuous learning. HR's future is human, enabled by technology, as Ulrich had said, and I emphasize that. Even though AI is here, it does not replace the humans, but we as humans use that AI in order to be more effective and productive. So the strategic human resource management, it's about alignment of people's strategies and outcomes, be able to utilize the tools, data to ensure people are flourishing in organizations. And that way we continue to ensure that the employees have the best of experience and they're flourishing. HR is a driver, a strategic driver of organizational performance. Society for Human Resource Management and also Strategic Human Resource Management emphasize that it's an alignment of people, culture, and strategy. And the Ulrich model reminds us of the HR as architects of human capability. And then, of course, I'll always champion the effective HR practices create measurable business value, and we have to be able to measure all that we do in HR. So continue to create value from an HR perspective, and reach out anytime you want to discuss this or implement some of these thinking in your organization. Happy to share ideas with you.